Welcome back to the Pesky Report, episode 513, presented by Beyond the Monster. I'm Jordan, joined by Brian. Brian, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I like these 3 wins. I want another one. Getting greedy.
Yeah, same. These are our favorite types of episodes to record, not because, obviously we want the Red Sox to win every single game, so when they have won every single game leading up to a recording, we're hyped up, but especially against the Yankees, and it feels a little bit different when you do it in their home ballpark too. Like beat the daylights out of them 3 times. It's been a fun weekend so far. Obviously, we're recording. Disclaimer: we're recording before Sunday Night Baseball, just so people don't expect us to talk about Dustin May pitching well, to pitching horribly, pitching okay, whatever. We're not going to talk about it because it hasn't happened yet. In our reality, obviously, that'll be a different reality that you guys will be listening to it tomorrow. So we'll talk about these 3 games and preview the 4-game series upcoming in Baltimore, and we're hoping to have this done with plenty of clearance before Sunday Night Baseball begins. We should be able to with just 2 people, but we'll see. Yep. It'll be a challenge because love talking when they win. When they lose, it's like, all right, let's get this done in 30 minutes and then we'll call it. But
that's right.
But yeah, game 1, Red Sox against the Yankees. This was the series. The vibes of the series going into the series were very different than they are right now. The Sox having just gotten swept by the Orioles, having lost 4 out of their previous 6, and 5 of their previous 7, and make that 7 of their previous 9. They'd been in a rut, safe to say. And some of the opponents they were losing, especially losing games at home, not fun. Yankees were riding a high of 5 straight victories.
Yep.
And Lucas Giolito on the mound in game 1. I wasn't super confident in him necessarily. I thought it was just going to be like Luis Gil would be a little bit worse. But Giolito shoved. He did everything they could have asked of him and more. What were your thoughts on Giolito in game 1, Brian?
It's kind of funny because I know beginning of the season he kind of sucked. Then he got his shit together. Then he was great. And then he's been having these kind of weird little games. And then especially after the Baltimore series, it was really disappointing because I think those Baltimore games, they were winnable. And it was kind of like, well, you got to beat Baltimore because you're going to be playing the Yankees because the Yankees are this juggernaut. And the Yankees are this unstoppable force, and they won, 5 games or whatever in a row, like you said. But that's not the case. Giolito, he kind of labored a little bit. He had the 3 walks. He, didn't get through the 5th inning, but 97 pitches, only gave up 3 runs. He gave him a chance. He didn't give up 5. He didn't give up 7. It's funny. You go into Yankee Stadium and everything's magnified. Everything's a big deal. There's Sunday night games, there's Friday night games. And it just felt great to finally beat a good team. Like you beat Baltimore, you expect to beat Baltimore, but going into, and beating the Yankees 6-3 like they did, it was great. And just to see some of the other guys in the team do what they did, it was great too. But, I think Giolito, it would have been nice. I think if he didn't get the 3 walks, he definitely want to pitch longer in the game. That's what it came down to. He did have 4 strikeouts, they picked up the home run, but if he didn't have those 3 walks, he probably went through the 5th and maybe probably into the 6th, which is more typical of what we're seeing when he's on his game.
Yeah, it seemed like the walks were really what hurt him. Like you said, didn't get through the 5th inning. It seemed like Alex Cora kind of learned from his past mistakes.
Right.
We talked about this after the San Diego series, how like Giolito was kind of left out there to die, and he clearly didn't have it. I think he'd walked 4 in a row at that point. His command did come and go. He gave up the home run to Ben Rice. 3 earned over 4 2/3 isn't fantastic, but as far as to be fair, one of those runs came off of Wilson because he did not look very good,
right?
In his outing. But they pulled the plug on Giolito at the right time, it feels like, and they were rewarded for it in the long run. Even if they had to kind of It was kind of a tug of war battle back and forth before the Red Sox eventually took the lead, and then Roman Anthony, our sweet prince, with the kill shot in the 9th inning, which was such a that was beautiful.
Yeah. It kind of made me kind of forget about that Devers Chapman thing is like my favorite home run all time. It was like, oh, I love that Devers home run off of Chapman. It was great. Now Anthony's kind of pushed that aside a little bit. And, Anthony is younger now. I think when Devers did that, or maybe about the same age, but it's just kind of like, it's nice to see these guys set the trend early to be Yankees killers. And I mean, Anthony you look at the point, it's still comical. Any ball that like Judge or Stanek gets jammed on the right field is a home run. And it's like, now you've got a left-handed power hitter on the Red Sox who's going to see a lot of good fastballs because he's eventually, I think, going to be a little further down the lineup and have some guys on base, and he's going to see a lot of fastballs. And he murders fastballs, murders them.
Yeah, he's just that dude. And like again, I keep bringing it up. Like guys like him, you kind of wait for the moment where you're like, oh, he's just different, and he has one. It seems like every series at this point where I'm like, oh, that this kid really is for real. Like first game at Yankee Stadium of his major league career, and he goes 2 for 5 with a home run, drives in 3. He actually gave them the lead, or no, he tied the game in what was it, the 6th inning with a single to left field. So he had his fingerprints all over this come from behind victory, and then eventually again the kill shot in the 9th inning. But up and down the lineup, everyone contributed to a degree. Narvaez not so much, and Cedon went 0 for 4, but David Hamilton reached base 3 times. Well, 4 times if you want to count the time he reached base via error. Nate Lowe had a sac fly, also drove in the go-ahead run with a double in the 7th inning. Trevor Story got that inning going with a single. Yoshida had a double. Bregman had 3 hits. Duran even chipped in a hit. And then you go down the line in the bullpen. Weiser and Matz combined for 2 scoreless. Whitlock gave you a scoreless inning, and Chapman gave you a scoreless inning in the 9th inning. So it was, again, an impressive victory, even if Giolito wasn't perfect. You win a game 6-3. Also worth mentioning, because we're talking about Roman's home run, every member of the big 3 homered in their first series at Yankee Stadium. So that's a fun that'll be a fun trivia question in 15, 20 years when we're sitting in Cooperstown watching all 3 and be inducted on the same day.
I bought my tickets, Jordan. Have you bought the tickets for the Hall of Fame induction ceremony? I mean,
I haven't, because I don't know what year it's going to be.
Right? You've been to Cooperstown?
Yes.
Okay, so I think we're doing 20 years from now, I expect this to be an established brand that everybody knows about across the country because of your work and nobody else's who ran this thing before. Not to throw anyone under the bus, but I'm going to do it anyway.
If you want to chuck them under the bus, it's fine.
Exactly. But 20 years from now, I expect you to be a national brand on some media platform, God knows where, out of the lumber business completely.
From your lips to God's ears.
Exactly. Please. Yeah, I know that can't come soon. No, pressure treated T112 ain't going to sell itself, but no, we'll be out of here and we'll be in Cooperstown, and I hope to do a live broadcast for Anthony, Campbell, and maybe Mayer when they're all in the Hall of Fame. That'd be pretty nice.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, Red Sox win game 1 6-3. Brought their road record to 28-34. Which is another reason why this series has been so impressive, is their road record is so bad, but it's now become respectable. Obviously it's improved all the way up to 30-34, and we'll see TBD tonight with Dustin May against Carlos Rodon. But yeah, game 1, great, nice little. It was like a taste of the old Red Sox Yankees, because it was so back and forth, but it didn't take 9 hours to complete. It only took about 3.5. We love to see that. And improve the Red Sox record against the Yankees to 6-1 on the season, which is like crazy how much they've owned that franchise this year, and moved them to within half a game of the top wildcard spot and the number 2 seed in the American League East. Which is there anything we missed in talking about game 1 before we want to dive into game 2 of the series?
Not really. I think you pretty much summed it up, but the back and forth was great. I think the big difference between this team and some of the other teams we've seen in the past is just that they don't give up. They'll be down by a run, they'll be down by a couple runs, and you're not like, oh, here it is. It's like, all right, we're down by a run. And the pickup of Lowe is huge. I think that's really, really under the radar, underrated. They had Toro there for way too long. He kind of was lightning in a bottle and kind of was fizzled out. I hate to keep doing this, but Casas did really nothing, even though he was getting better before he got hurt. But Lowe is a professional guy. He's like, all right, bases loaded. I'm going to whack the shit out of the ball and get a fly ball and get a run in. I guess, he was hitting 216, I guess, this year. Doesn't look like that guy right now. Defensively, he's making all the plays he should. He takes a lot of pressure off of the guys. He's got nice veteran leadership. And I wouldn't be surprised if they try and work something out because he fits perfectly on this team. Perfectly. And you could bring him back. And if it kind of doesn't work out, you cut your losses if Casas is healthy. If Casas is healthy, maybe Yoshida's gone and he plays DH or something. There's a lot of different ways to do it. But when you get a guy like that, who I believe did he win the championship with them at one point? Or maybe I'm thinking of
23 with the Rangers.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, a guy with a ring is always a guy that you want to add to your roster. At least that's how I feel. And he just seems to fit into the clubhouse great. And I guess early returns on the guy are great. And the clubhouse are all saying he's saying the right things. He says he's excited to finally play for games that actually matter. And I think that's the difference between a guy who's hitting 213 and a guy going to hit 280, 290. It's like when the games actually fucking matter. Like you're seeing it firsthand what it can do for a player.
Yeah, I think Nate Lowe has been even better than I expected. I thought it was kind of funny. I was looking into him when he got DFA'd and trying to, it seemed like an obvious marriage. The Red Sox had the glaring hole at first base, that he'd be on their radar at the very least. And like trying to kind of make the puzzle piece fit with the team. He actually hits the ball in the air the other way more than anything else as far as batted ball is concerned. So I was like, oh, perfect. Lefty shoots the ball to left field at Fenway. That'll be perfect.
Yep.
It's hilarious. All of his, other than the sac fly, all of his swings have been to the pull side, and he's been doing damage that way as well. The home run, obviously, in the Baltimore series, and then the double in game 1.
Yep.
But yeah, you said it perfectly. They needed that first base production. They weren't getting it with Toro and even Romy to a degree. But he's been playing more second base, obviously, as well. You get a guy in here that's been there, done that. He wasn't an integral part of the Rangers postseason run, but he was there. He had a couple of big swings in that postseason run, including game tying home run on Verlander and the LCS. It definitely, I think Lou Merloni brings it up pretty much every time Lowe does anything. It's like, you'd think August he just completely checked out, and he's like, I'm just here because if I don't show up, I'll get in trouble and I'll lose money for it. But he probably thought he had no shot of still being a Washington National on August 1st, and he was still there. And he went 3 for 31 or something ridiculous and got DFA'd. And, the Red Sox pretty much immediately called him and got him in the door. And you're seeing the benefit of having another veteran in the lineup, which I think is gigantic. You've already mentioned it. Like, as far as postseason experience, let's take Nate Lowe out of the equation. Bregman, Story, Refsnyder. I think that's it.
Pretty much.
For position players.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Like Duran and Wong were in the dugout in 21, but neither of them played.
Right.
And I think that's it. I mean, Roman Anthony was still 11 years old, so he couldn't be there.
He had MLB The Show. His team went the whole way and won the World Series that year. In his bedroom where they shared with Anthony and Roman Anthony 2 and Roman Anthony 4 and Anthony 7 and
yeah, all the Anthony's in his family.
Yep.
But yeah, so that was it as far as postseason experience on the roster. You add Nate Lowe, you have now I think 2 guys in the position player group that have rings. Plus you have Chapman and Buehler who have rings in the now the bullpen. We'll talk about that demotion at some point, probably when we preview the Orioles series, because a certain somebody's not starting in game 1. Darn fart noise. It's fine, but Sox win game 1, 6-3, brings us to game 2 with Brayan Bello, baby Pedro on the mound against Max Fried.
Yeah.
And second time this year that Bello's outpitched Max Fried, and that's what was that stat that he's got the lowest ERA, minimum 10 starts against the Yankees in the live ball era.
Really?
He's a killer against the Yankees.
Wow.
He's that dude too.
Yeah.
He's now 8th in the American League in earned run average as well. So we're talking about Brayan Bello maybe getting Cy Young votes.
Okay. Well, I think the thing for him is cut down the walks. Don't try and strike everybody out. All of a sudden, wow, you can pitch 7 innings if you do that. Holy shit. Like your pitch count isn't 105 by the 5th inning because you're trying to be hero, meathead baseball. You're actually trying to pitch to contact. you're pitching 27 ground ball outs, 27 for no hitter. Just let the guys behind you do their job. Let Bregman go in the hole like Devers never could. Story is doing Story things. Not that I give him a ton of credit because he does a lot of stupid shit, but the range that Hamilton has, it's a factor. He's getting to some balls that some of these other guys who were playing second weren't getting to. And then Lowe's been great at first, and just the outfield defense when Raphael is in center field. Like I hate the fact that Willier's out, but now you're almost forced to put Sedan in center, and he's kind of making things happen. Defensively, they're great. Navarro's is back. He was out for a little bit, so that kind of solidifies things. And Wong isn't a complete waste of space anymore. He's actually doing something, which is really, really sexy,
Yeah, and also in game one, Justinson Garcia made his MLB debut. He walked.
Yeah.
He went 0 for 3. He did strike out, I think, all 3 times.
Well, whatever.
But he did walk, and so
Yeah.
he's got an OBP.
Yeah.
We love it. It's nice to see him get his big league debut again. It sucks to see Willie Abreu being hurt. Obviously,
Yeah.
Ref Snyder's on the IL as well.
Yep.
But nice to see Justinson Garcia. I mean, he's earned this. Like,
oh yeah,
people like it felt kind of taboo to argue with people saying that they should call him up because if we're just basing it off performance, he should have been up in the major leagues weeks ago.
Yep.
But where was he going to play?
Right.
Like they gave him a first base mitt because they were like, we got to find a way to get you in the lineup up here. And a couple injuries happened, which I'm gonna give Doink her flowers because when it came time to the trade deadline, she was like, injuries are gonna happen. They don't have to trade an outfielder. And she's right. 2 injuries happen. Justinson Garcia is still here. I would still probably prefer having Joe Ryan, but that's beside the point. But Justinson Garcia got here, and we'll see if he's still here when Willier and Ref Snyder come back this week.
So Jordan, if he gets hot, like nuclear hot, do you then hesitant to trade him in the offseason for Joe Ryan? Like, how good does he have to be where you're like, no? Like, because it happens, like this thing, it happens in New York, like Alonso when he first popped on the scene. There's these guys where they come out of not nowhere, and like we're ridiculous fanatical fans. We know about these guys, but then like the national media starts talking about, like, especially in New York, like he's starting today. If he hits like 2 or 3 home runs today, everyone's going to be talking about him tomorrow. And we're going to just be like loving it. It's going to be like Red Sox porn. Be like, yeah, he had 2 home runs. He had 5 RBIs. It was like the press conference that Boone gave, the AI one, where he basically just said, like, I have a basically guy who in a wheelchair in right field trying to play the outfield. Like, it was just, like, it just, I love how when the Yankees are awful against us, like there's nothing better outside of, your kids being born. I mean, it's like that awesome to watch. But like, yeah, if he has a big game today, like it's going to start. The hype train is going to happen for him.
Yeah. I don't know what would have to happen for me to be like, you can't trade him. I still think
he's the pathway to Ryan though, right? Basically.
I think so. I mean, if he has I mean, and I don't even know if he'll be here beyond the guys coming off the IL. You'd think Eaton's the first guy to go down, obviously, when Ref Center comes back.
Yep.
Which apparently should be in Baltimore, which is nice. He probably won't be tomorrow because it's a righty on the mound. If I had to guess, they'd probably wait a day.
All right.
But we'll see. A part of it too for me, it's interesting that it wasn't Campbell. It's also interesting because it almost feels like a wake-up call for Yoshida. Like, you better get going quick because now he's here. And it was almost like Meyer with Trevor Story. It's like now he's right there. Like you see him. He's physically next to you. Meyer didn't necessarily set the world on fire, but he looked pretty good in the immediate aftermath.
I don't see a path for Campbell anymore if Lowe plays above average. Like why? I just don't, because he's first base is where he would get playing time. Are you going to bring him up just to play occasionally? I mean, the whole thing with Campbell is you want experience, you want at bats, you want defensive reps. He's not going to get that here consistently.
Yeah, I think it's kind of there's like a million different things that have to happen to see Christian Campbell come back up. I was just shocked it wasn't like in a pinch because Willier got hurt. They'd bring up Campbell because he's hot and see if he can kind of catch lightning in a bottle. But the way David Hamilton's played since getting recalled,
Yeah.
no real sense in like being eager to send him back down to AAA, and then rosters
Yep.
expand in a week anyway, where they'll
Right.
call up another body. We'll see
Mhm.
if it's Garcia or Eaton, which I probably would. I think I'd probably pick Eaton for the speed.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. The game that I went to, the Orioles game, he beat out two, I think, infield hits, and it was like
yeah,
he's got some speed. Yeah,
yeah.
especially like in the playoff game atmosphere, and when these games mean something, and one run can mean anything. Having a guy like him, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, and having like it, I feel in with the rosters the way they currently are, he and David Hamilton are very redundant,
Mhm.
but you have a free roster spot at your disposal. Like having another David Hamilton would be pretty sick. Like,
Oh yeah,
if Eaton can actually produce anything offensively, which we haven't seen yet, but
right.
they like him for a reason, and he was hitting well in AAA. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think the thing with Garcia too is he can play all the outfield positions, which I'm not saying Campbell can't, but I think I look at him as like a center fielder, maybe left fielder and first base and like a below average second baseman, where I think Garcia, I think he's a better maybe defensive outfielder than Campbell. And I think in right field, you need a center fielder playing right field at Fenway. And maybe that was part of the thinking. I also think too, it's kind of like Garcia, I mean, if you look, I mean, we love him, Hunter Knoll. You look at his Twitter, and it's amazing, like the bombs this guy's hitting left and right, and it just, um, I don't know, I don't think he have a lot to gain. If Campbell was like on fire, maybe I'd bring him up. But like I said, positionally, it's like I don't know how that works. Where Garcia, you can call him up, and then when Rough Schneider, whoever gets held, he can send him back down. Where it's not like you had that 100 plus at bats with him, where it's like then he goes into a slump, and then maybe it's mental at that point. I mean, there's a lot of factors, like you were saying.
yeah, I'm curious to see what this next few days are going to look like, and I mean, who knows if it's just a cup of coffee? What a place to have your first cup of coffee at the major league level in the Bronx at Yankee
Absolutely.
Stadium with both teams being good.
Yep.
Um, and we'll see how he does tonight in his second crack at his first second game with an attempt at his first major league hit.
Yeah.
Rodon is homer prone, so there's that. That is
I
that's
always look at
something.
Rondon as like he could like win a Cy Young award, have an ERA of like under like one. I'd be like, no, we're facing him tonight. We're taking it to him right now. Like I'm never scared of that guy. I always see like the wind up, and they'll hype him up. He'll have like 9 strikeouts in the first 4 innings, and then he just fucking falls off the cliff.
Yeah, and I think I mean it's a little different for me tonight specifically just because there's no ref Snyder. Like if Rob was leading off and then Romy in the 3 hole, like I would expect it to be like 2-0 before there's 2 outs in the first inning. It like not having Rob in there and it being Nate Eaton instead in the 5 hole. It's like it's just such a drop off, and maybe Eaton gets the baby ref Snyder role, and when Rob retires, maybe that becomes Eaton who takes that
Sure,
spot
sure.
next year. But yeah, I'm not necessarily terrified of Carlos Rodon. I think he's a good pitcher. I think it'll be a difficult game, but I don't know if I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid too much, but like I got a weird feeling about Dustin May tonight. Like him, national TV in the Bronx. Like this dude's insane. Like I think he might have a performance in him tonight.
Yeah, he's got that ginger strength. He's got
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see him going. I mean, I could see two outcomes happening. He either goes 6 innings of one-run ball and strikes out like 9, or he is absolutely bombed and he's out of the game by the third inning. Like that's the
How,
and but
how
the
about
but
Max
the good thing
Fried?
is they won the first
Yeah.
3. So
How about Max Fried picking up, where he left off too? It's like, I thought he was, had a great first half, and then he was kind of shit after that. And now it seems like he had a good outing. I was like, all right, because I've been talking about Max Fried, and it's like, well, recently, and then he pitched great last game. So
yeah, he looked really good, and I almost feel bad for him because this is the second time that he's dominated the Red Sox and lost to Brian Bello.
yeah, I know you feel awful about that. You're
Like,
like, oh, poor
I
Max.
mean, I don't think I do like Max Fried, and I don't
Yeah,
blame him for taking the extra year from the Yankees for similar average annual value. And in Fried's defense, he didn't get the loss. He went 6 shutout innings. Mark Leiter gave up the run in the
right.
7th, which again, Nate Lowe with the double in the pinch, and then
Yep.
Connor Wong follows up with an RBI double. What's up with
Nice.
Connor Wong lately, man? He's like productive now. He had 2 hits. He raised his season OPS to quick math here 480. He's
he
hitting
came to peer
189
pressure. He
now.
looked at
Like,
those podcasts, in the top 10, a Red Sox podcast, not to name any names, but probably ours. But and he's like, okay, all right, fuckers, I got you. I'll get a hit. Yeah, all right, Jordan. I know who you are. I know where you live. Yeah, I've seen you. All right, I'm gonna get a hit now. Watch. You guys aren't gonna shit talk me. I've seen the Netflix special. I know what's up.
which is again, he's Bayo's personal catcher, and Bayo like wanted him arrested last
Which
year.
is awesome. Yeah, and I'm wondering, like, is he being really? Is that like, is he serious? Is he messing with us? What's going on there? It
Did you
seems
see
to
the
work.
video circulating of Wong scaring Bayo?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
yeah,
so funny.
yeah, yeah. But 1-0. It's some people like pitcher's duels. I like a little more of a cushion. It was more like a classic Red Sox game, like when like Clemens and Pedro used to go at each other, and then Nixon would hit a home run, and that was the only run scored. But it's nice that they're keeping Judge in check. They hype the shit out of Stanton, like, well, since whatever he's hitting 400. I'm like, he has the ugliest fucking swing. I know he's got 350 home runs and all this shit, but he's like the worst outfielder now. He can't move at all. But I mean, you look at it. I mean, Bayo had 9 strikeouts. He only gave up 3 hits the whole game. Um, and then Whitlock and Chapman came in again, and it's nice because then you're like, all right, well, can they go 3 games in a row? Hopefully we got some type of lead, because like how many times it's like, oh, we got to bring in Weiser, or God, we got to bring in Hicks when there's like it's a tight game, and 1-0. It's like, it's great, but all right, we got 2 more games in the series.
Yeah, and the beauty of the way this series has gone or had gone through the first 2 games is it's like you won 2, you beat Max Fried, and then you get Crochet versus Will Warren in game 3. And that's like free. Like, I mean, Will Warren wasn't horrible to start the game. Notice I say to start the game because he got really bad in the middle innings.
Mhm.
But it just wasn't fair, right? Like, you lose those first 2 games, you lose 1-0 in game 2 of the series with Bayo, Whitlock, and Chapman. Like Bayo, who seems to be baby Pedro against the Yankees,
Yeah.
Yankees killer, and then
Sure.
you just get a couple former Yankees just stuffing it down your throat for 2 innings. Like Whitlock and Chapman, like that might be the nastiest I've seen the 2 of them go back to back in an
Oh yeah.
outing all year. Like
Yeah.
I can't really. I mean, it's difficult because they only pitch an inning at a time, but I can't think of another outing this year where it was just so like they'd probably have to strike out the side for it to top what they did in game 2 because they were filthy. That changeup from Whitlock to strike out Anthony Volpe.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god, he embarrassed him. I'm so shocked they didn't send him down after that game.
I know you're talking about Volpe, and I'm really surprised that he is playing on a major league roster right now, because his mind is just. I mean, he's just, if you look at, like, he just looks like a mess defensively. He looks like a mess offensively. I mean, he's got a lot of problems. But I mean, I think if anybody tries to hit Whitlock's changeup, they're gonna look the same.
Yeah.
But like with the Red Sox right now, I mean, bullpen wise, it's like they almost got like that MO like the Royals had a couple years ago. Where it's like, we're gonna get 6 innings out of our starters, and 7th, 8th, 9th, you're not scoring a run off us. Or like like the Yankees when they had Rivera and their setup men. I mean, the weapon that having Whitlock and Chapman together, it's really a game changer. And like that's why it's frustrating for me that we don't have a better record, because I look at like Toronto, I look at these other teams. We've got these guys. Let's do it. Like I can taste it right now. And I'll watch some games and I don't watch some games, and I was really pissed because I looked in the Yankee series and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, we lost the games against Baltimore, so we don't have that cushion in the wild card like we did. And it looks like now we're beating the shit out of the Yankees. We take 3 or 4, and we get a game later. They really need to win tonight to get back to where they were almost a week ago. You know what I mean? Because it's
Mhm.
like, I think it was Seattle has caught fire a little bit, and then fucking the Blue Jays still won't fucking die. It's kind of like, all right, like, let's go here. And I think they're playing pretty well right now. I really think having Lowe at first base, that's really helped out a lot. And then all of a sudden their pitching is starting to really kind of hold it together. And I think the other thing, that the big thing that's going to happen, I think, Jordan, is I think if they get Slayton back, that just takes a lot of pressure off a lot of guys. And you got because they burned through Weiser. He probably leads the league in appearances. He's right up there, right? He's got to be.
He's in the top 10. I
Yeah,
know
and
that.
it's like let's take that down a little bit, because he's a lot more effective when he gets rest. You know.
Same with Wilson.
Yep. Yeah, Wilson too. Yeah, if he gets some rest, he can throw harder. And just kind of like, I want Chapman in kid gloves. I want him. Don't use him unless you absolutely have to get the win, because Whitlock and Chapman are probably going to pitch a lot on multiple days in a row if you want to do something deep into the playoffs, you know?
Yeah, Aroldis Chapman has a 1.08 ERA.
You're talking about like Koji level of like dominance.
Maybe even better.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at his career right now. This is the best ERA of his career. This is the best walk rate of his career, which also it's not the best strikeout to walk rate of his career because in Cincinnati he had a year where he struck out 52.5% of batters,
Wow.
which Jesus Christ.
Ball.
Yeah, but he's been a freak this year. He hasn't allowed a hit in his last like 11 outings or 12 outings or something. He's only allowed one run, I think, in the last 2 months.
Wow.
I gotta check that because I want to be kind in my assessment here, or I want to be accurate in my assessment of this guy. So since
Okay.
May 28th, he has allowed one run.
Wow. The only thing I've seen close, I said Koji was right there, but you know, in the postseason, you know, Keith Folk was just he had what was 14 appearances or something crazy, and his ERA was 0.64. I mean, it was just like, you know, 19 strikeouts. It was unbelievable. And it was just like, you know, I don't know if we're ever going to see a guy pitch like this again, and we really got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's crazy how good this dude's been. Again, this is since May 28th. He has pitched 29 innings. He has allowed one run, and it was a solo home run to JT Realmuto in Philadelphia. That is the only run he has allowed in almost 3 months. Yeah, May was 3 months ago. Yeah, 3 months.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And
Yeah.
if he doesn't allow a run for the next 4 days, he'll have gone 3 months allowing just one run. And he's striking out 13.3 per 9 over that span. It's 43 Ks to 6 walks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Dude, he doesn't give up any hits. Like his batting average on balls in play is 120 over that span. So we're talking about a dude who doesn't give up any hits. Opponents are hitting 074 against him in that span. They're likelier to get a hit than they are to walk against him since May 28th. This is how ridiculous he's been. And it only took him 15 years to learn how to pitch, but oh my God. And it's almost scary how much I count on him now. Like I trust him with anything at this point.
Now, Jordan, you got to bring him back at this point, right?
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
I'd throw him the qualifying offer in a heartbeat. I'd be willing to eat 21 million on him next year. I get that there's like an expiration date with Chapman. Like when it goes, and but we haven't seen it yet. We haven't even seen I guess the Dodgers outing where he left because he had the back tightness was kind of the closest we've gotten to like, oh man, maybe the end is near. But other than that, which apparently, I mean, which was a clear injury issue, like a back tightness was no joke. He's been so steady all year. I can't even remember the last time he had multiple base runners.
Well, Jordan, your advanced age on this planet, you get back sickness every once in a while, don't you? Sometimes, you know.
I mean, I do have back issues from time to time. I'm one of those guys that's like, oh my God, 25 and your back's messed up. It happens.
Yeah. Quarter of a century, like it's coming. I get it.
Yeah. I'm already bald. Got my back issues now. It's brutal. But
people want to know, you know, people send me some questions that know I do the show. Halloween, are you Peyton Tolley or what are you doing?
I do. To be honest, I didn't see it at first when you made that comparison, and then I was like, I saw an older picture of me with just the mustache, from my mustache is a little bushier, and I'm like, I kind of see it, like a little bit, like not, like I'm not going to be boasting about it on the internet. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'll win the Peyton Tolley lookalike contest if the Red Sox ever do one.
Right.
But I can see where you're coming from with that comparison.
Well, the Red Sox have, you know, Halloween at Fenway. And if he does make appearance, I'm sending you the message to get your ass there because we need a picture together, the two of you guys. Not, and you, I know you did. Did you do the? No, you didn't do the podcast with him, right? That was the minor league guys.
No, Hunter interviewed him. When they were down there.
Yeah, but all returns on that guy that he's very similar to Crochet, where he's nasty stuff, but he's also a super cool dude too. Which I'm like that. I want that guy in Fenway like tomorrow.
Yeah, he's a goofball, and it's great. And he's been fantastic since a really bad first inning in AAA. Like he's been stupid, and like it's going to be interesting, like to see how many more starts he makes in AAA. Because Breslow also said, we don't think the moment will be too big for him. It's just a matter of do we think he's ready?
Right.
And I mean, again, they have more. They're privy to more information than we are. We just watch the box score and we see Hunter's highlights on Twitter.
Over and over and over again.
He's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. But my thing is, Jordan, so you add a Joe Ryan and you add Tolley to the starting rotation. You got some hard decisions to make, and you're going to make some moves, and you add those two guys to this team. If you don't make some serious changes, I know the Blue Jays are nasty this year, but I mean they're better than the Yankees, they're better than Tampa, they're better than I mean they're going to be one of those top teams. I think with those two guys, if that happens.
Yeah, I mean they already have one of the best rotations in the American League now that Bueller's not in it. But like that's one thing. Like I read something on Twitter that said the Red Sox are in trouble if Brayan Bello is their number 2. He's 8th in the American League in ERA. They're in trouble with another top 10. Like he's gonna get Cy Young votes. He won't be like high up in the race. Like he's probably not gonna finish like 6th or 7th in the award race unless he has a great September, which is possible. I don't want to say it's not. But he's probably gonna finish like 12th or 13th in the Cy Young this year. I would say that's a number 2 starter. Now, ideally, he's your 3 starter. But we don't live in fantasy land. Like we live in reality where
I mean, he will be when Joe Ryan comes to the team. He will be the number 3. So, and
which
that's
is
okay.
feels like the dunnest of deals ever. Like it's just like everyone is like he's a Red Sox.
Yeah, and then you've got Peyton somewhere, and then I don't know what you do with Giolito. You don't have to worry about Bueller. You don't. May probably is gone. I'm guessing. I don't know, but it's a good problem to have. And that doesn't even mention the guys that the minor league guys, basically are like BFFs with and send DMs to each other. The ones that are like right on the cusp too. Those guys is Brendan Early or whatever his name is there. He's a stud.
Connolly.
Yeah, and then they've got those 2 mooses that they signed in the draft picks, the fucking units. Those tanks, those big dudes. Man.
Yeah. And we're not even talking about Patrick Sandoval and Cutter Crawford, who would factor into the mix as well. They'll probably both be relievers.
And as you know, going into spring training, having plenty of arms is not a problem.
Yeah. Not a problem. They don't have to make a trade with involving a starting pitcher until like March 15th.
Yep.
Okay, we have a general idea of what our rotation is going to look like. And I wouldn't be so quick to trade Cutter Crawford either, because I really do think at worst you have a lights out reliever.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely.
And even the same thing with Patrick Sandoval. Like I know he's getting a bump in pay next year because they expect him to actually contribute.
Is Patrick Sandoval hanging out with Mondesi right now? Are they together?
I haven't seen him in a while either. Like he disappeared.
Because I heard those 2 names, Mondesi last year and then Sandoval this year, and I'm like,
is he real?
Are they real people? Are they Kaiser Sosek? Like, what's going on? They play in the Mexican League with Robinson Cano. I don't know where those guys are.
Yeah, I don't know, but they're going to have plenty of options next year. Still have Fitz, obviously. Sandlin he's a Rule 5 eligible, which means I think he'll probably be put on the 40-man. They'll probably protect him. Hunter Dobbins will be back at some point as well. And then Connolly early as well. Like they've got options, and that's not even. And we're not, like Joe Ryan, you mentioned, he's not on the team, but he might be. So you figure
who's the guy that had Tommy John last year, and supposedly he's healthy now? He was like their stud minor league pitcher, Spanish guy. What the hell was his name?
Perales.
Yeah, is he healthy now? So I heard something like
live BP.
Don't be surprised if he does something. I'm like, okay, I don't want to get my hopes up, but pre-injury, he was lights out.
Yeah, I think he'd gotten into the top 60 on Baseball America for top prospects. So
he was on the fast track before he got hurt.
Yeah, and then he blew his elbow out in I think his Double-A debut or maybe a second outing in Double-A. But they're like he could factor into the bullpen down the stretch.
I read that and I'm like, really?
I would not do that.
Like him or Leah Hendricks, who do you see first? Probably neither.
Yeah, gun to my head, I might actually pick Luis Perales in that case, right? Because I'm not sure the Red Sox are ever gonna let Liam Hendricks touch a mound for them. again. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Just put him in the booth at Nesson. The games will be great. They can have a mute button, when he drops the F-bombs. And I think that's the perfect role for him. I love the guy as a person, but just I don't think he has the ability anymore, just for whatever reason, which is fine. I mean, that's perfectly normal. I never had it at all. But if you get him in the booth, I think that's the perfect role for him. I think fans like him already in Boston. I think he'd fit in great here. I think I'd love to see him in the booth doing some games.
Could we get for Section 10 night? Can we get an inning where Obi and Lou are kicked out for Hendricks and Hogdale?
Yeah, that would be epic. That'd be I don't know. I mean, well, Neston's the pay channel now, so I think you could probably get away with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there'd be Hogdale brings it to another level, obviously, and then Hendricks would be dropping F-bombs left and right. Even when he does well, he's swearing.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine if things don't go the Red Sox way. And not that I don't like homers doing the broadcast, but I'll admit it, I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
For just in the FCC would be sweating the whole time. But it would be fantastic. I would absolutely love it. But yeah, moving on to game 3 of this series, which sorry, I got sidetracked because I saw Zach Gallen has gone 6 innings of 1-run ball. So my boy is alive and well. Since the wait, hold on, I gotta do my in real time reaction to his. So entering today, since the deadline, he had a 3.52 ERA and he allowed 1 earned over 6 against the Reds. So
okay, yeah.
Maybe he's not dead after all.
Could be,
but yeah. Moving on to game 3 of this series, we got Crochet against Will Warren, and the Red Sox kicked the shit out of the Yankees.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
It really was. I mean, yeah, the 9th inning was what really made it a laugher, but there weren't really any points in the game where I felt. I mean, I guess when Weissert had 2 on with Stanton up, I got a little nervous.
Right.
Then he struck Stanton out, and then up comes Mr. Free Smoke at 7, Jazz Chisholm, to get met at the apex with Justin Wilson's 97-mile-an-hour fastball blown past him. But that was the only time the Yankees really threatened the entire day.
No, you're right. I mean, well, he had that Houston game, and it was like, is he telegraphing his pitches? What's going on here? And he came to basically either fixed it or did whatever he did, or got out of Houston, so they're not stealing all the signs. I don't know what they're doing, but the Yankees game was great, and it was kind of like I talked to a guy from California today, and he's like, "Oh, you see that Crochet game?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I did." I'm like, he's great. He's got the slider and the sinker and the sweeper and all that, and then the fastball he's bringing it. And I think that Navarez always talks about how Crochet knows when it's like his last inning or his last batter because he just airs it out. He almost like goes into like reliever mode where he's like, "All right, I'm gonna throw the ball as hard as I can, and you can try and hit it." And most of the times they don't. I'm looking at his stats now, and it's 7 innings, 11 strikeouts, only 1 walk, only 5 hits, brought his ERA down to 2.38. Struck out Judge, I believe, twice, Stanton 3 times or twice. Just an all-around great game. And I mean, he's the ace, and I expect him to win the Cy Young Award just because he's a Red Sox player, he's a pitcher, and he's awesome, and he should get it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he did win it, but it's like we're talking all-time level Cy Young race in September between him and Tarik Skubal.
Those are the 2 guys. Yeah, those are the 2 guys. And I mean, I think that if you take either one of those guys on a team, you're going to go far. If somehow through some witchery or trickery or coercion, if you could ever get both of those guys on one team, you're talking like Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling, like World Series. I mean, you're not going to lose a game.
Yeah, what's Tarik Skubal's contract looking like? I know he's not extended, so I think he's a free agent soon.
Well,
after next year, maybe. After next year.
Okay. But you're going to throw the bag at that guy. If you're the Tigers.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Do you think Bregman's like, well, you can play in Detroit, but I didn't play in Detroit because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, yeah, by the way, we just won a World Series last year. Do you want to come over? And he's like, well, if you can't beat him, Durant, you join him. I mean, yeah, that'd be nice. They get both of those guys. Now, they'd have to trade a third baseman who they wait, they got rid of Devers, so now they got money.
They got the money off the books.
Wait a minute, Jordan. You might be onto something. So are you planting the flag right now? Is Skubal 2008? He'll be here. Is that what you're saying?
2027 that's the season he's a free agent after next year.
Okay. So then we'll sign him for 1 year, $150 million, and then there's a lockout. Just to
there will be a lockout before they can even sign him, right? So, but this gives him plenty of time to realize that he does not want to live in Detroit anymore, and he can sign with the
spending
Red
time
Sox.
in Detroit and not actually having the mental escape of going and playing baseball and having to spend a year there. Yeah, that would want me out of there too. I can't wait to see the size of the cigar that Henry sucks on if he signs that contract. I mean, that thing is going to be.
I'll join John Henry in ripping a cigar Tarik Skubal signs with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Especially because we're talking about getting Joe Ryan too in the offseason. Like, imagine a 1, 2, 3 of those three.
That'd be a good big three
with Bello and Peyton Tolley.
Well, you got to eat. You know, someone's going to be the 4 and the 5. Someone's going to be the 4.
Poor Peyton Tolley becoming an all-star as the 5 starter in the Red Sox rotation.
Yeah, you know, somebody's going to bring up the rear, and I trust him that he can, pitch, 100 innings and maybe be a 500 pitcher. You know, that'd be nice. As your number 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I could dig it.
But if they get Skubal, Jordan, how crazy would you get? You've done some ridiculous things in your lifetime, but how crazy would you be?
I would go nuts. Truly, I don't even know. Huh?
Could we talk to you in person, or you just be so out of control that you wouldn't even? Would you make Hogdale look kind of like civil and normal and low key? And
I'd make Hogdale look like he was on Xanax. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No, but Hogdale, I think Hogdale would probably react in a way that would put my reaction like I was on Xanax, because I know that.
I think we'd have to have the crash cart around, because I think Hogdale could probably go nuclear and maybe bust an artery. He'd be so excited. I mean, because home run, he's excited, but if there's almost a guarantee that we're going to win 100 games in a season for a couple of years in a row, like, I worry about his long-term health, because it is somebody can only handle so much excitement.
Yeah. But I mean, rightfully so. If the Sox sign Tarik Skubal and you're not going to the hospital in celebration, then, like, are you really a fan of the team? Like, really?
Well, my thing is, then can you give Craig any shit the rest of his life if they pull that off?
Is Bregman still here?
Probably. I mean,
if Bregman's still here, no. If he isn't, maybe.
Right.
Maybe a smidge.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of like, I think that, when the Devers thing happened and other moves didn't happen and they didn't sign this guy, it's really easy to be in the now. But 2 years from now, 5 years from now, where are we? I think we're in a better place. I think so. I really do. I really think they're setting themselves up by these long-term contracts that they're giving guys, like a Bello or Anthony or whoever, or Cedon. They see what's happening. You get a lockout coming. That's going to suck for everybody. But long-term, I think we're in pretty good shape.
I think so too. And it kind of depends on, how the big three end up, blossoming as players. Whether, Roman Anthony seems like a star, like probably a superstar caliber player.
Absolutely.
But are either of the other two going to be viable big league options? Like Campbell defensively, who knows? But he wasn't at the time of getting sent down. Now April was offensively, but after that he was not. Meyer showed flashes, great defender. But the health is a major red flag with him. And then Garcia, is he even here? If he's getting traded for Joe Ryan, who knows?
Well,
but
the big three, as we know it, might be different guys. I think Anthony is one of them. The other two could be other guys we're not even talking about.
Perales and Tolley.
Could be.
Big three being two pitchers and Roman Anthony, I could get behind if all three are dogs.
It's a good problem to have. I mean, I can't tell you, how bad the minor league development had been for years and years and years. I mean, pitching wise, there was what? Clemens, Lester, Buchholz, and nobody pitching wise. Position players, they've always been pretty good. But like now actually getting some pitching, is really, really good. And then some of these guys, like we talked about earlier in the show, and guys that are coming up, it's going to be nice when you're not paying $30 million for a pitcher because you're getting a guy for the league minimum for 2 or 3 years before you extend them. And even when you do give them that big Anthony contract, you're still getting so much value for these guys, so much value. And that's the name of the game.
Yeah, definitely. definitely. It'll be a nice change of pace. And I know that the offense in the system is not great anymore, but I mean that's what happens when you graduate a bunch of top flight position players is it gets a little bit worse.
Yeah,
I know Mikey's hit a home run today, but he's kind of like the top offensive prospect in the organization. I mean, it's still Garcia, but
hmm
talk about guys who haven't debuted yet. It's like Mikey and Miguel Blaze, and Justin Gonzalez is kind of up there too now, the way he's been hitting, but he's still down in Salem. So, and then there's obviously just Stinson's brother, Johan Fran, who's also in Greenville. So,
you get Arias too,
and Arias, yeah.
Yeah.
But but the pitching has become leaps and bounds better. I mean, we're talking about a time now where 3 of the top 4, maybe even 4 of the top 5 prospects in the organization are all arms, and it's not because the system is bad. The pitching is just much better.
Yeah.
Perales, Tolley, Kyson Witherspoon, and it could be Sandlin, could be Early, could be Brandon Clark, could be
Yeah.
whoever. But
Yeah, and I think Sandlin, he's had a rough time in AAA, but I think he just needs to figure it out because the stuff is there. The stuff is there. And I think they've been kind of having him use short stints, have him pitch out of the bullpen. He's had some rough patches, but he's going to figure it out. And once he does, forget about it because you look at the stuff and it's amazing.
yeah, it's a different beast coming out of the bullpen. So I didn't expect him to just go out to the pen and just suddenly be throwing like 102-mile-an-hour darts. Like, I mean, even like guys in the major leagues don't immediately go and thrive in the bullpen once they get demoted. I mean, Buchholz didn't back in like 2016. Who knows what'll happen with Walker Buehler, but Joe Kelly had to get sent down for a while before he came back as a reliever. And then even then when he came back, he wasn't great right away.
What do you? I know you want to talk about it in a little bit, but I mean, can we just get the Walker Buehler stuff out of the way? Is the bullpen going to save him this year, or is he just they're putting him in there and that's the end of it? What do you think?
Well, I think they probably want to see if he can get a bump in his stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe 94 becomes 96 for an
Yep.
inning or two. And, because his breaking stuff, as bad as he's been, his breaking stuff is pretty good. Like, and maybe if you just go to maybe he goes down to an inning or 2 spurts, he finally has the wherewithal to be like, maybe I shouldn't throw 7 pitches. Maybe I should throw 2 or 3 for 2 innings and, dominate out of the bullpen. I'm not optimistic, but I think it's probably a better than just cutting him outright. I think
Yeah.
that would leave a sour taste in the clubhouse. But
Yeah.
I'm not optimistic though.
Yeah, I mean, I think outside of, I mean, whether you want to say the Devers move was a good move, bad move at the time, it's better aged over time. Outside of the Bueller signing, I don't really see a lot of things that they screwed up really in the offseason, that they could have prevented. Depth at some of these positions, but it all seems to kind of work out up to this point. I think the issues right now is just because of health. And I really think when Slayton's healthy, pitching in the bullpen, a lot of the weaknesses his team had are really going to go away. And that Bueller out of the starting rotation right now, and May kind of maybe sliding in that spot. I don't know how you want to say that all works, but I think they're one of the better teams right now for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be nice knowing that like your worst reliever being Jordan Hicks is now a good thing and not like Jordan Hicks sucks and that's our outlook on it. It's like this bullpen with Slayton and maybe Bueller, who knows, goes to a whole nother level, and then Jordan Hicks just being whatever version of himself he is kind of like, well, we only see him when it's 12-1 in the 9th inning.
Did you feel comfortable with 12-1? Were you like along the edge?
Yeah, I think I'm okay. I'm okay with him pitching with an 11-run lead. I for his sake, I am very glad that he did not give up any runs because he probably would have felt like the fucking worst person ever.
But at 102 miles an hour, I mean, they hit the ball to right field, it's gone. I mean, the guy just has to stick his bat out.
Yeah.
That fence is so comical. I mean, I know it's Yankee Stadium, blah blah blah, and everything with the monuments but talk about a bandbox, man. I mean, people joke about Fenway and the left field wall, but that's a joke. I mean, it's a complete joke in right field. I mean, Judge can look over the fence because it's so short, and he's like, I love the fact the balls I hit are home runs here, but he must be playing in right field every once in a while and being like, this is just stupid. This is stupid.
Yeah. I mean, we talk like it's funny the trolling that is done on Twitter with Yankee Stadium. But Roman Anthony's home run in game one that went into the second deck, StatCast did not have as a home run at Fenway Park. 28 out of 30 ballparks that's gone in. Fenway is not one of them. It
How
went
the
into
hell?
the second deck
Yeah,
at Yankee Stadium.
Statcast is weird shit. Do you remember the Rudy Telez home run where they said it
Oh,
was like
yeah.
500 feet, and then all of a sudden they took it down right away, and they were trying to tell people that it hit like the number 8, like retired Yaz number. And I remember going the next day and asking the attendant, I'm like, "Hey, you were here last night?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Where did that ball land?" He's like, "Right here." I'm like, "That ain't 500 feet." He's like, "I know." He's like, "Statcast. Yes, it's a computer. Sometimes it makes mistakes."
Yeah, I'm still wondering how far that Hunter Renfroe home run off Marcus Walden in 2020 went because that thing, he hit it so far that StatCast never read it.
Well, you saw both the home runs this year. Was it Duran and was it Gonzalez? One was 455, one was 456.
Yeah.
Were those when you watched those, Jordan? Were those as impressive at the time, or you're like, "Oh, they're far," but then you're like, "Wow, they were that far."
Romy's was the one that I like. I mean, because it's so tough to read. Because I mean, I was in the right field bleachers, so a ball goes out to left center. I don't really know what part of the monster it goes over. It clears the monster. I'm like, okay, that's a poke. Like you gotta juice that ball to get it out of Fenway there. But then you read the number and you're like, oh, 454, huh? Like that thing was spanked. And then Jaren's was you could tell because it takes 420 to get out to right center field anyway at Fenway. But so to hit it like 7-8 rows deep, it's gotta be killed.
Did you see the Miguel Sano home run from a couple years ago? That's the furthest one
Yeah,
I've seen hit in a game.
it's like
And then
490 or something to left off of Porcello,
maybe
right?
it's probably further, but they're weird about the 500 number in Fenway, you know. And then the furthest ball that I remember being hit, and of course because it didn't clear the stadium, was Ramirez hit the light tower. And then the furthest ball I've hit in general during the home run derby, Sean Green hit one completely out of the stadium straightaway center field. But it's also a juiced home run to All-Star baseball.
Yeah,
It was more impressive to watch McGuire, but they were like up in the air and then on the Lansdowne, where Greens went completely out of the stadium straight away.
I can't wait till the All-Star game's back at Fenway.
As soon as they finish the those buildings in Lansdowne Street, it was it 2000. They'll probably have it after the lockout. I bet.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere, and I don't know if I got AI'd or not, but 2029 makes a lot of sense.
Yep,
30-year anniversary
that's
of
what I'm
the
hearing. Yep.
so that'd be pretty sick. You get Pedro to throw out the first pitch at it. Oh,
You got to
oh,
get credentials, Jordan. You got to get credentials for that. Okay. I want you
fingers
on the
crossed.
field. We on the field. I want interviews live. I want.
That'd be so sick.
You got time. You got time.
And the Red Sox, like the department that does the like pregame ceremonies, they hit it out of the park all the time.
Yep.
Like that might be like an exhibition
Oh
for
yeah.
pregame events.
Yep.
Like they'll be in their bag for
Oh yeah.
that week, and that'll be great for the city. That'll be great for baseball,
Yep.
especially after the lockout. Probably be nice to get the big markets the All-Star game again. So whether it be Fenway, Yankee Stadium, will get another one probably shortly thereafter,
Well,
and
the nice
then the
thing after
Dodger
a
Stadium.
lockout that they'll lift drug testing because they got to get fans in the stands. So everyone's going to have 50 home runs by the All Star break.
So congratulations to Kyle Schwarber on setting the all-time home run record for his season for the Boston Red Sox when he's finally back. Uh, that'll be fun. The 38-year-old Kyle Schwarber with 80 home runs of the All-Star break.
Might as
That game
well.
will be the show.
Absolutely.
Hey, let it happen. Let it happen. Also, the Jays lost today, so there's that.
Oh, that's awful.
So if the Sox are able to sweep the Yankees, they'll be 4 back going into the series with the Orioles.
As they should be.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel. Like it seems like there's some devil magic to the Blue Jays season, like the regular season. I know
Yeah.
they'll lose in the first round of the playoffs
Right.
because that's what the Blue Jays do.
Yep.
But I don't know if catching them is possible. I mean, it is, but I don't think it will happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they need to because I don't think they're going to be around, so they're out. What team worries you about in the East? Is the Astros probably is the team that kind of worries you a little bit? And people are like, "Oh, yeah, Seattle's got pitching," but I'm like, eh. Like Houston to me is the team to worry about, just
The
because they're Houston.
only the only team in the American League that I am afraid of is Houston, and that's just pedigree.
Yeah.
But you didn't face Jordan this year.
Right.
He figures to be healthy for the playoffs, I would imagine. Jeremy Pena is having a really good year. Obviously, Altuve is a demon in the playoffs. And they got Javier back. They got Fromber. They got Hunter Brown. Like that's the team in the American League for me. Like I would not be shocked. Like if I had to pick unbiased, if I had to pick my World Series matchup today, it is the Astros versus the Padres.
Okay.
That's my World Series pick today.
Okay.
Ask me again tomorrow if Dustin May goes 7 shut tonight. Maybe that changes.
Yeah.
But right now, for me, it's Astros Padres would be my World Series prediction.
Alvarez facing Sale in the playoffs was like the scariest thing. It was like, all right, like this, you cannot get this guy out. You cannot get Alvarez out at Fenway. It was like watching David Ortiz in a different uniform.
Yeah, there's some players. I wonder what the moment was for like Devers hit that home run off Chapman in 17, but like anybody can have a moment like where they go crazy. Like I mean, we've seen like some of the worst players ever.
Oh yeah,
have big hits, big home runs in their career.
Yeah.
I wonder what the moment was for the Yankees fans where they realized that Devers was just always going to kill them. Because for Jordan, when he hit that home run off of Sale over the monster in the 21 LCS, that was like a foot outside, and he just flicked it like it was he flicked it like a boogie over the monster, like 400 feet.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're never gonna get him out again.
No.
And pretty much that's been true.
Well, who did Devers hit the ball off of from the other batter's box? Who was that guy? Remember the ball that was like 3 feet off the plate and he hit it out? Who did he hit that off of?
Against the Yankees, right?
I think so.
Michael
right?
Tonkin.
Tonkin. That's the most like ridiculous wiffle ball swing I've ever seen in a major league game, where it's like he has no business A, making contact, B, hitting it fair, or even C, hitting it that far.
Yeah. Video game-esque home run.
Right.
That was, but yeah, I think for me, Houston's the only team in the American League that really scares me. Toronto always seems to have the Red Sox number, but I'm not not in the sense that I'm like afraid of them, but just kind of like I wouldn't be shocked if Toronto beat them in the playoffs.
Right.
But I still would go into that series with the utmost confidence that the Red Sox would win that series. I just think the Red Sox.
Do you give any credit at all, or any like Detroit and Milwaukee? Are they they're hot now, or they're not relevant? What do you think?
I'm always higher on the Brewers than a lot of people think. Than a lot of people are.
Okay.
Their offense is actually good this year.
Yeah.
Which was never the case when they had Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff anchoring that rotation. Like they just didn't have it. They didn't have didn't have the run production. I think they're legit. It's kind of like weird how legit they are because it's not like they're full of stars. Like they have Jackson Chourio and Yelich and William Contreras.
Right.
And like they're all good players, but like I don't look at like Bryce Terang has like 20 bombs this year, and I'm like, what? I thought he was gonna steal like 70 bags. He might do that with 25 homers.
Is he having his Ellsbury year before something happens?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I think some guys have like the kind of swing where it's like on a year-to-year basis, they could run into 20. Like Duran. Like I think Duran doesn't have really a home run swing. He's got 14 home runs. Terang does.
He hit that 456 bomb. Yeah, but I remember. When we were kids, one year Boggs hit 24 home runs, and we're like, he figured it out. Holy shit! Not only is he going to win a batting title, he hits 20 plus bombs, and then it never ever happened again.
Yeah, I mean, Mauer had a 30 home run year as well.
Yeah. I don't think Gwynn ever did it. Gwynn might have had like 15 home runs, but that was like a lot for him. But like most of those guys never really, back in the day, would do both. You'd either be kind of a free swinger. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys like Frank Thomas or whatnot. But like when a guy who would all of a sudden have like that, like you're talking Mauer. I remember, I think it was in a fantasy draft the following year, and everybody picked him, and he was okay the next year, but not like that year. That year was something special.
Yeah, Tony Gwynn had back-to-back years clearing 15. In 97, he hit 17, and in 98, he hit 16. Those were the only 2 years he had more than 15 home runs. He had 135 for his career.
Wow.
And 33 of them came at age 37 and 38.
How many strikeouts did he have for his career?
For his entire career, he struck out 434 times.
That is insane.
He had more doubles than strikeouts.
That is Looney Tunes. You'll never ever see something like that again. That's crazy.
No, I mean maybe Luis Ariz, although I think Ariz might actually. Let's see. Let's see what Arise is at.
If he plays
For
10 years,
strikeouts
he'll
for his
top it.
career.
Yeah.
Arise is 209.
Okay. All right. All right. But like Tony Gwynn is like Tony Gwynn, but Arise, people throw him under the bus left and right. They're like, it's nothing special.
Arise has 15 strikeouts this year.
That's crazy.
Who struck him? Who has struck him out? When was the last time he struck out?
Not a
Is my
minute if he's only got
question.
15. Yeah.
His strikeout rate's 2.7%. The last time he's not struck out multiple times at all this year, which anyone who's ever done that put them in the hall right away. Looks like the last time he struck out was the 15th. He's only struck out 20. Oh wait, hold on. There's one on the 12th. He has only struck out 3 times in August.
It's a different game. Like when Crochet got his 200th strikeout, I was listening to the game on the radio, and I'm like, did Judge get his 200th strikeout? I'm like, no, it's way too soon in the season for that. But it was like his 136 strikeout.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. The strikeout numbers.
Yeah.
He's got 136.
Wow.
Which, by the way, the Red Sox abuse Aaron Judge.
Yes.
Which maybe is not an appropriate thing to say before Sunday Night Baseball with Dustin May on the mound.
I think they call him Aaron Ghost in the dugout.
Yeah, he's been. They've kept him in check this season, big time. Like Crochet, I think struck him out like 9 times in 3 games.
What's more embarrassing, him trying to hit or Stanton trying to field in right field?
Stanton trying to field.
Awful, right?
He can't move.
Right.
And I know why he's out there because Judge is nursing his elbow.
Right.
That everyone and their brother seems to think is Tommy John incoming for him.
They just don't want to do it. Yeah.
They just don't want to do it now. They'll do it in the offseason where he can DH all of next year. But like, oh my God, 162 of Stanton in right field. Oh, you hit a ball like 5 feet to his right. Like Story. So Trevor Story homered yesterday.
Yes.
And it was his
2020 now, right?
Joined the 2020 club, 3rd Red Sox shortstop ever.
Team MVP, Jordan. Team MVP.
He's up there. I mean, I'd probably give it to Roman, like in all seriousness.
Really?
But Trevor Story, like it's different when he produces. Like similar, like when Bueller had a good start, it's like that meant a little bit more than like Bello having a good start.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With Story, like if Story has a 3 for 5 with a home run, like I feel that more than like even if Bregman does it.
Okay.
And maybe just because I like Story and Story is like one of my favorite players in the league. But it's just different when Trev's the one in the middle of it. But yeah, third Red Sox shortstop to the 2020 club. I wrote about this yesterday, so I got all the stats in front of me.
Yeah.
11th different player in team history to do it. This is only the 14th time in team history that it's happened.
Really?
And if he's able to get to 25 and 25, he will be the third different Red Sox to do it as well. Joining Mookie Betts in 16 and 18.
Okay. Yeah.
Mookie Betts in 2016 and 2018 had a 30-30 season, and Jacoby Ellsbury in 2011.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
He can get 5 more homers, 3 more stolen bases, and he's gonna get to 100 ribbies probably as well.
And he will definitely not opt out, right? And he'll just be with us forever, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's definitely an interesting subplot to the offseason. But I'd be really shocked if he opted out. I just don't know why he would.
I think that it's, he took a lot of shit from a lot of people because he played like shit. And he finally figured it out. Maybe it just took him longer to get healthy. I don't know what happened. I don't know what he did. I don't know what kind of deals he made. But he seems to be the guy now, and it makes the, Mayer injury a lot easier to take. He's probably going to be the shortstop next year, not the guy we're going to move to second base, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable with Trevor Story at short. I know he's not like Rocky's Trevor Story, like he's not going to be he's not going to win the Gold Glove, but
that's okay.
Loomer brought it up maybe a month ago at this point. When it's hit to him, you're out. And like, it's not like he gets to enough plays. Like he's rangy enough where it's not like Red Sox Xander Bogaerts, where it felt like every ball that he had to move to his right for was a hit.
Yeah. And you've got Bregman next to him, so and they always talk about, well, he's a shortstop playing third base. Well, he is.
Yeah. And then he'd have Meyer playing to his left, and that's a shortstop playing second base.
Yeah, so I think defensively, especially on that side of the field, I think we've got a lockdown.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I guess the only, like, I've noticed, and I don't want to, like, pile on the kid because I love Christian Campbell, and I think he's going to be a good big leaguer.
Yep.
Trevor Story's defensive turnaround started the second he stopped playing next to Christian Campbell. Like,
Yeah,
the
I think
second Campbell was not playing second anymore.
Campbell's future is probably at first base because I just don't see an avenue
Yeah,
another
or the
for him.
outfield.
Even then you're gonna have to move a lot of pieces. You know, you're gonna have to figure some stuff out. You're gonna have to trade some Williers. You're gonna have to trade Durans. You're gonna have to, and then do you do all that for a guy who had a good month?
You did. It was good enough for you to extend him.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe
Is Christian Campbell floated in the offseason?
possibly. But yeah, I'd love to see him play first base. But we got a guy who is a pretty good first baseman who got hurt. You got to give him at least a shot. See what he's got. You know.
And Nate Lowe's ARB eligible, so you've got him if you really want to. I think they'll non-tender him because I don't think they want to go to 15 mil for Nate Lowe. But they'll non-tender him and then probably be like, listen, we'll bring you back, but you're gonna have to take a cut and pay.
And I think he would do
fresh
that.
off a postseason run, you might.
Yeah, I think he likes it here, and I think that there's making a bunch of money and playing for the Nationals, and there's making a little less and playing for a team that actually can do something and has a pulse. And he's seeing that, and then all you got to do is get your wife here, get your kids here, have them go to the schools, show them how great it is. There's a lot of factors there, and I think that I think he's just a great fit for the team. I really hope everything works out with Tristan. I hope he gets healthy and comes back, but we've got some backup options, which is nice.
Yeah, it's nice because literally, when he got hurt, we're like the first base depth is terrible. It is Abraham Toro and Roman Gonzalez. Like, that's bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess it could have been Raffy Devers all along, but he wanted to be there forever as opposed to sometimes.
Yeah.
But and now we're in a position where first base is like low key a deep position. If you want to count Garcia as an option, but you got Campbell, you got Nate Lowe, you got Costas.
You don't have the money to go get the pitching, which I think this team needs an extra guy, which is the piece.
Yeah, and we'll see if they're able to land it. Although, like, now I've drank the Kool-Aid, and I'm like, I'll wait an off season. Get me Tarik Skubal next year.
Yeah,
do that.
I'll see you. You'll be at the winter meetings. You like Arizona? That's your hood, right? You're
I do like Arizona. I have been meaning to go visit again, so we'll see.
I think it'd be a good excuse for you to go out there for the winter meetings and hang out. We'll have you hang out in the lobby, where everything happens. Supposedly the lobby. I mean, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I would love to go and be like, yo, Craig. Like, I know that he's not available. I know he's not available, but like, you got to be eyeballing Tarik Skubal as a free agent next year, right? Like, off the record. And then, of course, it's not off the record. I'd definitely be like, "Hey, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. For sake of future credibility as a reporter, I am kidding. If it's off the record, it's off the record."
Yep.
But I am curious. I am curious how much he's looking that far ahead because he has to. That's part of his job. Like, yeah, like having Devers in 2025 on paper makes the team a lot better. But 2029, is he even good?
Are you still a Heim guy if you come around to Breslow?
No, I'm still a Heim guy. I still think Heim would have. I think Heim. It was a matter of they needed someone to die on the sword. Like, I think St. Louis is in fantastic hands when Mozeliak finally leaves, which is after this season. I think Heim will do a good job there.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have to be one or the other. Like, I'm still kind of tempering my expectations with Breslow. We'll see where we're at in a year or two. But I like Heim. I was buying what he was selling. I know that that's not popular within the Red Sox fan base, but I think
in the 80s when they got really good in 86, they had a manager who he was the rookie manager when Roger Maris had 61 home runs, Ralph Hulk, and basically he was like, get the hell out of the locker room, leave Roger alone. His hair's falling out, and he ended up managing the Red Sox in the early 80s, and he basically was the one that took all those Pawtucket guys, the Marty Barretts, the Wade Boggs, the Rich Gedmans, the Roger Clemens. He's like, all right, I'm leaving now. This team is in place. They gave that team a John McNamara, and they had their success. And I think Heim, GM wise, was the guy who basically did a lot of the groundwork. The Duquette guy, if you want to look at it that way, who did a lot of moves in the background to get this team a couple pieces away and put them on the right track. I think if this team ever does do anything like a world championship in the next couple of years, you're going to look back at what Heim did and be like, you know what, this team isn't there unless they make that move. And you're going to go, these guys that prove themselves in the playoffs, a lot of them are Heim guys, and they're going to be Heim guys.
Yeah, I mean the same thing happened with Duquette and Theo Epstein. Like Theo gets credit, and he should for 2004. Like he got Schilling, he got Folk.
Oh yeah,
He traded Nomar. Like he made big moves. And I guess if you want to make the direct comparison, like Breslow got Crochet, he got Chapman, he traded Devers. Like he has those three. Like he has, you can make those comparisons.
I always think, Jordan, the funny thing for me about Theo is he took the gorilla suit and went out the back door, for a minute, for a mental hiatus, and then they trade for Beckett and then Lowe in the offseason. And then he comes back. He's like, oh, that was a good move, I guess. I don't know if I would have done it. And then they win a World Series, and it's like, wow, Theo, great move. He's like, I didn't make that one. That wasn't me.
You're trading Hanley. That's
well, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Hanley
was this guy. He's like, I'm not going to trade Hanley. And they're like, okay, fine. Then we'll get someone who will.
We'll do it.
Yeah, and it worked out great.
Yeah, it did. It did. But yeah, like the 04 team was like all Duquette guys, and the few that the cherries on top of the sundae were all Epstein guys, and that's kind of what drove them to the World Series. And maybe that's the same case
all
with
it takes. I think the disappointing thing for me with the way this team is playing right now, I wish this was the Netflix year. It would be so much more interesting.
Oh, the Netflix cam watching Devers walk off the team plane or the team bus or whatever it was that he was on when he got traded. Oh, it would make me angry again, but that would have been must see TV.
I still haven't watched the entirety of the Netflix thing just because I know the outcome, so I'm not interested. Where like this team, there's just so many more storylines. It's exciting. They're winning. I mean, to have when they do those hard knocks about some shit team, I'm like, I really don't care. Like, but winning makes everything better. Like a Netflix special on the 21 team would have been amazing.
Oh my god. Yeah. That would have been fantastic.
Yep.
But alas.
Yep.
Like for like a Netflix, like you have no idea what teams are going to look like over 162.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
But like I feel like there's three different kinds of teams you'd want to have a camera follow around. A team that completely sucks.
Yep.
The best team ever.
Yep.
Or a team that has no expectations and is great. Last year's team looked like it might be that, and then they bottomed out because the deadline wasn't very effective, and Devers was hurt and whatever. But like if they like you said, if they followed this year's team, like I would have loved to have gotten a firsthand look at just how eager Craig Breslow was to actually sign Alex Bregman after for months it was Nolan Arenado.
Oh yeah, I would have loved to see the back and forth where it's like people are hounding Carabas about, is it going to happen? Well, maybe. Well, I don't know. Well, and it's basically like he doesn't want to go to Detroit, but like nothing's happened, nothing's imminent because Detroit is still like offering the bag for him. And then finally Henry's like, okay, here's $40 million. And it was like, I mean, to me, I mean, it's not even on the same scope because we haven't seen it happen. But I remember what it was like when they got Garnett in the Celtics. It was like, is this real life? Because we were told it wasn't going to happen. Then they got Ray Allen, and then Ray Allen had 2 busted ankles, and I was like, really? And then basically, I guess what it came down to is McHale and Ainge on the golf course, and McHale's like, all right, I'll give him to you. What do you want? What do you want? Like fine, just and then they basically called. I think it was Garnett, and Garnett was like, I want to keep Rondo and trade Telfair, and then that was the deal. And it's like it came up. That was the hang up on the trade, which is ridiculous now at the time, but that was the hang up.
Yeah, but like think about how different that 07 team would have been, that 08 team if it was Sebastian Telfair at point guard instead of Rajon Rondo.
It wouldn't have worked.
Oh my god, maybe it would have worked year one. Maybe year one they would have won it all because they were so top heavy, but they would not have been that good after 2008 especially after KG.
But those are the stories I want to hear about, like the game where I was at, where against I think it was the Cardinals, where they were just lighting the guy on fire, and Bregman wasn't even healthy yet. He had the iPad in his hand. He's like, look, he's telegraphing his pitches. And they kept showing it on Nesson. Like, I would have loved to get the Netflix camera of like, yeah, see, when he throws the curveball, he's doing this. When he throws the fastball, that's the kind of stuff as a baseball fan I would have loved to see.
Yeah, unfortunate. Maybe
On
another
the
time.
DVD, well, no, they don't make DVDs anymore. But whatever the thing they do after they win the World Series that they're going to make me buy, it's going to be like an add-on package on Nesson for $20. I can buy it for Christmas.
I'd watch it. I would definitely watch it.
I would
I'd watch it
that.
several times.
I've got all the other
Yeah.
ones, in my room.
I don't. I'm surprised. I surprisingly, I watched the 13 and 18 ones, but I didn't ever. I don't think I bought them. I don't know how I watched them, but I
The
did
04
not buy
one was
them.
great because they had every fucking game. It was awesome. They had every round, every inning, and then they started to cheap out as they started to win because then it was like just the ALCS and the World Series or just the whatever. But the 04 one had every single pitch, and it was great because it's funny watching standard definition and they letterbox it. And then you just remember, like, holy shit, Kurt Liskanek was actually holding us in a fucking game. You're like, these guys are just hanging by a thread. You realize, like, how, like, where you were at that time, what shitty hotel you were at 2 a.m. watching these games in a bar. Like, it brings back a lot of memories for me when I watch those games.
Yeah, for sure. And I have the box set of the 07 run.
Yep.
And it is crazy to me that Cleveland had them in the bag.
Yeah.
That 07 team was, I mean, the Cleveland was good in 07 as well. Like it was almost like they were almost like the 2021 Red Sox where they had like their dog at the top of the rotation with CeCe, but like their team was so young and talented. Like Grady Sizemore, Asdrubal Cabrera, Victor Martinez was still like, I think in like year 3 or 4 of his major league career. I cannot believe that team had the. I mean, and the 21 Red Sox had the Astros in the bag too, and then they fugazi away.
That to me that will always kill me because I just remember, like, how ridiculous Kiki Hernandez was, and it was like, and then I remember the bullshit that the guy was at Valdez where, like, he pitched like an inning and the mound was all fucked up and his back hurt, and then like they let the next guy
Oh, it
warm
was
up
Luis
for like a half hour.
Garcia.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the guy's throwing 5 or 6 miles an hour faster than he has the entire season, and we can't hit them. I'm like, you guys. I know it's like sour grapes, Red Sox fan, but I'm like, Houston, you guys were definitely fucking with somebody. You were doing something. We shouldn't have been in the World Series, and we should have won. That's I'll to my grave, I'll say that.
Braves Red Sox would have been a fantastic series. I don't know if the
My
Red
God,
Sox would beat
MLB would have been
Atlanta.
just in their pants. Yeah, you're right. That would have
Yeah,
been huge.
I don't know if Atlanta would have beat the Cinderella Braves with Freddie in his last run with them, but
Right.
that would have been such a great series. Like I could have totally seen that going 6 or 7 games. That would have been fun. And the winner gets to keep Chris Sale.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And just Jordan, if they win that World Series, a lot of those players they come back.
Yeah.
I don't know if Schwarber absolutely leaves if he wins a World Series in Boston.
I'm still probably here.
Yeah, things are going to look a little different, but I don't know, whatever. I mean, it's a good problem to have. And I really hope that this team has some of that 21 magic because a lot of people will talk about how the loudest Fenway has been recently is the Astros 21 game. For me, this past season, some of these regular season games have been huge at Fenway as well. And I know you've been to a lot of games, Jack. He's taking care of some business right now, but he's been at a lot of games as well that we've all been at. It's really exciting this year.
Still haven't met. None of us have met.
Yeah. But it's going to happen eventually. Eventually, we're going to be in a playoff game together, and I want my eyes to burn with champagne, and I want the pesky people there because it's going to be awesome, Jordan.
It is. It's going to be fantastic, and yeah, the crowd can smell it this year. It's different than last year. It felt like last year once they started to struggle, the crowd immediately was like, oh, they're done. Like it's not happening. This year. Like Dustin May made his Red Sox debut at Fenway, and he was not good. But the crowd is still there. Like the crowd's still showing up, and it helped that they won a few games after the deadline. But the crowd smells it, and I wasn't there in the 21 playoffs, so I can't really compare it to that. But on TV, the crowd is nuts at Fenway Park. And I can only speak from my experience being there as well. But the loudest the crowd has been for a game I've been at in a while is Cooper Criswell versus Hunter Brown.
Right.
With Roman Anthony hitting the walk-off. That was the loudest I've heard Fenway Park in
the Roman Anthony home run to me, the Schwarber home run, the 3-0 pitch where you got the green light and hit the grand slam. That was the loudest moment up until recently. I think the Anthony, for me, because I was there, they were very comparable. Very comparable.
Yeah, the crowd smells it. Like this is and again, I think I mentioned this back in like June or maybe it was late May. Like the Red Sox had a very like unfamiliar. We're in very unfamiliar territory. The Bruins sucked. The Celtics were out of the playoffs early, and the Patriots weren't good. Like they
Yep.
had a bad year.
Yep.
Like the NFL draft had already happened. The Red Sox were the team in the city, and they took advantage of that. They've been fantastic.
Right.
With a couple of slow stretches, but I mean that happens over 162. You're going to have a 2-7 9-game stretch a couple times a year. Um, it doesn't make it any easier to digest when it happens, but I think even the 2018 team the 2018 team led the Yankees by like 9 games after April, and they were in second place in June. Like they had a stretch. Trust
Yep.
me. They won. They were 54 games over 500 in the end, but they had a stretch or two where they did not look very good.
This team really, if they played 500 on the road, we'd be all high-fiving each other right now. It's really the road record that's really done them in this year.
Yeah, and even then, they're now only 4 under 500, and the reason they're under 500 is because they keep losing in extra innings. They keep getting walked off. Like they've had.
Well, what's their
If
record
they
next
keep it in
innings?
regulation,
One and whatever now. It's something
I
crazy.
think it's 1 and
2 and
8
yeah. I
or
mean,
2 and 8, something like that.
come on, I get
Keep
it.
it in regulation. They're above 500 on the road.
Yeah. A lot of positives, Jordan. And the unfortunate thing is, we're going to get to in a second. We kind of glossed over the 12-1 fucking beating. It was awesome to watch, and I watched repeatedly over and over again. But these Orioles, like, what the fuck, man? Like, come on, like, let's beat these guys, right?
Yeah. This yeah, we'll get into before we preview the Orioles, how do you think tonight's game's going to go? We'll see if we end up being asses in the end of it. But do you think the Red Sox pull this one out?
Yeah, I mean, Rondon, he could do something, but I just don't see it happening. I just don't. I think the Yankees have mentally checked out, really. I do. I think they kind of like, I mean, Aaron Boone is just a loser, period. He hit a home run off of Wakefield, and that's really, he's been riding that ever since. Comes from a good baseball family, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, eventually, I know cash and paychecks is nice and all, but he's not getting anything out of managing that team. It must be so awful. I mean, he has to play Stanton. Judge, you're right. He's going to have Tommy John surgery. They did get freed in the offseason, but it's like, I don't know. I think the Yankees' time has passed their by. That their position players, they just don't have it. The Yankees have a uniform now in Judge, and there's not a lot else there.
Yeah, and like some of the guys, like Garrett Cole will be back next year from Tommy John, but is he the same? I mean, we see it time and time again. That first year after Tommy John is not like a return to form. It can be really bad. Like John Lackey is a real success story of Tommy John surgery. Next year, I'm actually really good. And that's probably mostly how bad he was in 2011. So like by comparison, I mean, he was good in 2013 anyway, but like he was like a Cy Young candidate compared to 2011.
Right.
Like who knows with him? Like the injury that Max Fried had last year at Atlanta is a precursor to Tommy John. I'm not like manifesting him getting surgery, but like that's always a possibility. And like Will Warren is fine, but he's nothing special.
Yeah.
Rodon is always an injury risk. He has been his entire career. He's very inconsistent. And like Luis Gil, it's crazy. If they were willing to trade Luis Gil and Dominguez, they'd have Kyle Tucker right now. And I know Tucker's been really bad for the Cubs the last, month and a half.
Right.
But imagine if they had an outfield of, it would have been like last year with Judge and Soto. It's Judge and Kyle Tucker, right? Or Kyle Tucker and Giancarlo Stanton.
Right.
With Judge DHing. But
yeah, I mean, Bellinger's been a positive for him, obviously, but you look
good.
at some of these other guys, and it's like Volpe, Wells, Caballero, has been decent, but then you look at Grisham. There's not a lot there. Ben Rice is, Goldschmidt he figured out how to hit again, which is good. But I mean, I'm not scared of that team. And poor Blackburn last night, giving up 7 earned runs in three innings. I mean, he really took one for the team.
They killed him. He learned what it's like to be Kyle Bearclaw and Ryan Weber. He got belt to ass yesterday, which I feel bad for him. And like throwing over to first base on a 3-2 count with 2 outs when you're down by 8 runs, like come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Boxing a run, the next pitch, 2-run shot like that. Oh
Yeah,
man,
I mean, from the neck
the
up, that
crowd
team.
might throw things on the field today if the Red Sox get out to like a 3-0 lead early. There's gonna be
What was
stuff
the
on the
game?
field.
Was it? I think it was the game where A-Rod hit the was it Minkiewicz or somebody and hit the guy in the hand.
Bronson's glove.
Yeah, they were throwing stuff on the field, and the riot team came out and
Yep.
they were up and down the baselines. And that's the last time I remember that happen in Yankee Stadium. But you're right. If they lose tonight, it could be another riot.
Yeah, I wonder if they get swept by the Red Sox, but this will be the
Yep.
second time in a row they've gotten swept by the Red Sox.
Yes.
They'll fall to 1-9 against the Sox this
Sounds
year.
right. Sounds right. Yeah.
Does Boone get fired?
I don't see why not.
Is it too late in the season to fire him?
I mean, I think they'll do it in the off season. I don't think they'll do, but yeah, that'd be kind of a wacky move if they fire him after the game. Yeah.
I think if they lose embarrassingly tonight, I think there's a decent shot that Brad Ausmus is their manager the rest of the year.
It could be. I mean, Brad Ausmus has done it before. He's got the experience. Why not? I mean, maybe it's time for a move. But you look at the press conferences for Bruin. He just looks so drained. He's like, I don't want to be here.
He's tired of being on John Boy Media. Like he's like he's sitting there. He's like, I'm not gonna quit. I gotta get fired. And he's just like,
I think
please
John Boy
do it.
Media is tired of being on our Red Sox fans' Twitter because of how much the Red Sox are lighting them up. Yeah.
Because Red Sox fans appear excited about Brayan Bello.
I've got his image on my phone. Every time something happens to the Yankees, I'm like post.
Tonight could be fun. I think the Red Sox do pull it out. I wasn't necessarily optimistic at the start of this, but now I'm like, I don't know. I just got a feeling Dustin May, he's got something for us.
I hope you're right. I mean, it's a kind of thing where it's sweeping the Yankees twice in one season. I don't know the last time that's happened.
Yeah, I mean, if the Red Sox would have to not lose to them again this year, the highest winning percentage was in like 1913. They went 19-2.
Okay.
They went 14-4 against them in 1973. That's the second best year they've ever had against the Yankees.
Okay. I want to say there's another series coming up in September. I think I'm going to that one.
Oh yeah, the 3-gamer.
Yeah, that should be interesting because I think by then, whenever I pick my tickets for the year, I'm always like, I want the Yankees games late in September. But then part of me is like, okay, is it going to be a game where the Red Sox are like 10 games out, the Yankees are going to be like 10 games up? Or is it going to be the other way where the Yankees are mentally checked out? We just beat the piss out of them. And I love those games. Those are great.
That seems to be a potential outcome. Like really does. The Red Sox, they're very resilient in the sense that like they let go of bad performances pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they linger for like a series, but like they don't have like since they got rid of Devers, the attitude of the team has been a lot better. And I don't want
funny how that works, huh? It's just it's crazy. And not that I've watched any games in San Francisco, but they're still not doing that great from what I understand.
No, they're like 7 under 500.
I hate to see that.
Yeah, but they were already in tailspin when they traded for him. I do think that I need to throw that caveat out there. Like I don't think it's Devers' fault that they're bad. I think they were already trending towards being bad, and then they thought Devers would save them, and adjusting that ballpark is impossible.
Has he stayed at first base, or has he gone back to DH, or he's pretty much been a first baseman since the trade, or since he moved to first base?
He's mostly how many starts? He's made 15 starts at first base.
Okay, all right.
And this year with the Giants, what's he at for numbers? He's got an OPS of 748.
Okay.
So not great. but yeah. So real quick before we wrap this up, because I know the game starts in about 30 minutes. We will preview the Red Sox Orioles game, Red Sox Orioles series. I'll give the pitching matchups and the start times, and then we can talk about that real quick. Games 1 through 3 are 6:35 p.m. starts. Game 4 is a 1:05 start. Game 1, TBD / Kyle Harrison. I think those are the only two options against Tomoyuki Shigano. Harrison's got a 3.69 ERA in Worcester in the majors this year with San Francisco Giants 4.56. Shigano's ERA is 3.97. Just shoved it up the Red Sox ass a few days ago.
Right.
So that should linger in the back of their mind. Game 2, the Red Sox are sending Lucas Giolito with a 3.72 ERA against TBD for the Orioles.
Yep.
Game 3 is Brayan Bello with his 3.07 ERA against Cade Povich with a 5.13.
Okay.
And then Game 4, War Pig himself, Garrett Crochet, 2.38 ERA going up against Dean Kramer at a 4.19 ERA for the Orioles. Again, that's a
Really?
105 start.
So bear with me here. How about we rest Crochet a day and have him pitch against Skeens on Friday?
That would be nice. I would do it. I mean, he threw over 100 pitches.
Yeah, I think he needs a day, don't you? Maybe we bring in
so.
we bring in Criswell to pitch.
Well, he's on the IL.
Damn it!
But
retroactive,
if Fitz doesn't
right?
pitch tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
If Fitz doesn't pitch tonight,
yep.
Are we how funky do we want to get? Sorry, I said the F word. I apologize. That's on me. How weird are we willing to get here? Get Fitz in game 1, Harrison game 2, and then Giolito Bello to wrap up the series. I think game 1 against Pittsburgh is Skeens versus Crochet. I will be there.
Yeah.
If Crochet's pitching that game, I will be there.
Yeah. That's what I want. That's what the people want.
Yeah.
So
this is a business. This is an entertainment industry after all.
It is. Yeah. But yeah, because I looked at, I'm like, wait a minute, and then I saw Skeens pitch the next day. I'm like, come on. I mean, Dustin May, don't get me wrong, he's going to dominate tonight. He'll dominate against Skeens just because that's what he does. But yeah, Crochet against Skeens would have been nice.
It would have been very nice, yeah.
Yeah. What do you get prediction for the series? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think the Sox take 3 of 4. I think that they at some point they're going to turn the corner again on the road, and the Yankees series seems to be that for me. If they take care of business tonight and then win 3 of 4 against the Orioles, that puts them at 34 and 35 on the road. Ooh. So that gets them right around 500, and they'd be pretty considerably over 500 in regulation. On the road. I think they take 3 of 4. I think they take games 1, 3, and 4 as currently constructed. I don't know who TBD is for the Orioles. I know Trevor Rogers is not pitching in this series, right? But I think they take 3 of the 4. What do you got?
Okay. I like the 3 and 4. I mean, I'm going to get greedy and just say sweep, just because like I'm in the sweep mode tonight. I think they sweep this one, they sweep the next one, and the really sexy thing for me is I also hope that the Mariners get swept because they're playing against the Padres. So there's a big potential for them to get kind of kicked to the curb. And then you really got to watch what Toronto's doing, you know. And I think if we look at Toronto, not the scoreboard watch, but of course I'm going to because I'm completely out of my mind. Schedule-wise for them, they got Minnesota coming up, which, okay, but then they have 3 games against Milwaukee. So stranger things have happened. 4.5 out. You say 4 today because they lost? Is that what you said?
4 if the Sox win tonight. They're 4.5 entering Sunday Night Baseball.
So maybe by this time next week, things could be a little closer. You know, I'd like to see them pick up at least a couple games. You know,
that'd be nice if they are within 3 games on September 1st. I think they win the East.
Okay. Yeah.
So they have to pick up a game and a half from right now in the next week.
And for people who don't follow this as much as you and I do, if you're the 1st and 2nd seed versus the 3rd seed, there's a big advantage baseball playoff-wise, right?
Yep. 1st and 2nd seed get a bye. The 3 seed for the division winners has to face the 3 seed from the wild card race.
Yep.
And then 1 and 2 in the wild card race face off in the wild card series, best of 3.
Yep. So you want that 1 or 2 seed, yeah.
And the higher seed gets the so the Red Sox either want to be the top seeded wild card team or win the American League East.
Yes.
Basically. And how I see it, that those probably are the 2 likeliest outcomes for me.
Yep. Absolutely.
Getting to play at Fenway more. Way better.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I think they pretty much decided this year that's where they're going to win most of their games. So
I'll take it.
And the All-Star game had no bearing on the World Series, so you play best record in the World Series.
So if they face San Diego, I think right now San Diego's like a game or 2 better than the Sox, or maybe it's 3 at this point. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. If they make the World Series, I'll be over the moon. I will happily have them play 4 games in San Diego if I have to.
Okay.
But yeah.
Does Jordan go to San Diego for World Series games?
I don't have any money for that. I don't have that kind of cash. We'll see. We'll see if I go to a game at home
Okay.
against the Padres if
Well,
they make the
what's
World
nice
Series.
about the playoff games, and I love this every year, they're like, oh, you know that $100 ticket that you paid for, on September 29th? I'm like, yeah, now it's 200. And you go, okay. And then they go, oh, the next round, now it's 400. And they're like, okay, all right. Christmas, not buying gifts this year. And then you go, oh, the World Series game you want to go to that it was $100. Now that's $800. And
Yeah,
you can't say no.
you can't. I have been to a World Series game, so maybe I'll have a little bit more willpower to say no, but I doubt it.
Yeah, but you can't have just one. It's like potato chips, Jordan.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll scratch the itch in the wild card
don't get me
round.
wrong, Jordan. I still want to keep, sending you all the compliments your way. You look great. You lost a lot of weight.
Thanks.
But as you know, how hard of a journey that is.
Yeah,
So,
it definitely is.
yeah.
Yeah. Any final thoughts before you wrap it up?
No, I hope that we sweep, and then I hope we keep sweeping. Realistically, I mean, we 3 or 4. I think with the Orioles is probably a little more realistic. I really hope it's not 2 or 4. Which kind of the Orioles always, for whatever reason, they've kind of do this thing with the Red Sox, and they're frustrating losses. They're 1-run losses. They're not going to blow us out, but we're going to do something like have to use Chapman because the bullpen can't hold the lead, and then you can't use him the next game, and then you lost 2 games because of it or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's something weird could happen. I really hope that isn't the case. I really think, like I said earlier, I don't know when. I think you alluded to it. If they activate Slayton at some point, I think that's gonna make things a lot easier.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to pitch for Worcester today. I'm gonna
Okay.
see if he did. Let me just do a quick search. Be nice if maybe he gets activated. He made his 3rd appearance
Okay.
today in Worcester. He threw just 8 pitches and got
Oh,
a clean inning. So would
okay.
imagine he will probably join the team in Baltimore tomorrow, and then get activated Tuesday. That's my guess. I don't know for
Get the
sure.
win too, huh? All right.
So we'll see. But Slayton should be joining them soon. Ref Snyder should be back this series. Willier not maybe this series. If not this series, Pittsburgh.
Right.
And things are starting to get interesting, and we're getting to the point where rosters expand. Is Campbell brought back? Is it Justin Garcia? Is it Nate Eaton? Who's it going to be?
Yep.
And then on the pitching side of things, is Kyle Harrison going to get his debut? I mean, we'll probably know soon after the game tonight. He got scratched he was supposed to start today for Worcester. He did not make the start. He got scratched, which would indicate that he's probably going to pitch tomorrow. But Richard Fitz hasn't pitched since he got called up, so maybe Fitz pitches tomorrow. Maybe it's a piggyback situation. Who knows?
Yep.
But yeah. That'll do it for this edition of the Pesky Report. Again, episode 513, presented by Beyond the Monster. Hopefully the Red Sox are able to take care of business tonight against the Yankees. Dustin May on the mound against Carlos Rodon. Chance for a 4-game sweep. For Brian and Jack, I'm Jordan. Until next time, peace out and go Sox.